Welcome back. Misconduct, abuse of power at the top of the FBI. Unsealed documents reveal top bureau officials debated whether to get former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn to lie. The notes showing that the FBI's motivations for interviewing Flynn in the White House just after President Trump's inauguration in January of 2017. Former head of counterintelligence Bill Priestap writes this: "What is our goal? Truth, admission, or get him to lie so we can prosecute him, or get him fired?" These are handwritten notes that were exculpatory evidence. Joining us right now is Georgia Congressman Doug Collins to talk more about that from the, obviously, good to see you, Congressman. Thanks very much for joining us.
Good to see you. Good to see you, too, Maureen.
We've talked about this. Yeah, we've talked about this for a long time, Congressman, and I want to read you the filing, the public filing now from Sidney Powell, who is General Flynn's lawyer. She says, number one, the FBI pre-planned a deliberate attack on General Flynn, willfully chose to ignore mention of Section 1001 in the interview, despite full knowledge of that practice. They planned a perjury trap at best, and in doing so, put it in writing, saying, what is our goal, as I just said. Your reaction to what we have learned just yesterday with this public filing from Flynn's attorney?
Maria, this is one of those times that we've seen it unfold this week that for you and I, as you said, we've talked about this many times. For those of us who, when we kept bringing this up, when we kept saying that there was problems with this corrupt cabal of Strzok, Page, McCabe, Comey, and all these going together, we kept seeing it when I released the transcripts, when we kept talking about these interviews. Now it is coming true. We see exactly when people thought that we were just on a rant talking about something that was not true. We're now showing that it was true. They did have an agenda against this president, this candidate. What it means is when they went in there with motives. They were not going to, they were trying to deceive General Flynn. They were not going to inform him and continue to say that, or make sure that, this is, you can't lie to what we're saying. This is, they're trying to basically, under the guise of one thing, try to trap him into something else. Sidney Powell has done an outstanding job of getting this information out and also showing that, frankly, his previous attorneys, who now we're seeing did not turn over evidence to her. This just goes back to something that is basic, Maria, and that is that our federal government was used by certain individuals to go after people that they did not like. This just shows for fact that Strzok, McCabe, and Comey and Page had an agenda that was outside the bounds of their job, outside the bounds of the law, because they had just an indelible dislike for Donald Trump, and they were going to do anything they could to get people next to him. They'd already made up their mind about this.
Congressman, I know that you and I have spoken about this for a long time, but can you imagine that this has taken 3 to 4 years to actually get out? I mean, I've been saying that this cabal has tried to do a coup to take down the campaign literally for 3 years. And, former FBI Director Jim Comey basically told the world what he was doing. A second ago, I said to you that they ignored Section 1002. And that section is basically, they ignored telling him, 1001 rather, that he should bring his lawyer. If a couple of FBI agents go and say they want to interview you, you want to have your lawyer there, and it should have gone through the White House. But Jim Comey basically laid it all out for us in his arrogance. He actually told us what he did as if it was okay. Let's just send a couple of FBI guys in and let's just laugh about it. Real funny to destroy a man's life. Real funny to destroy General Flynn's life, a 3-star general who has served this country with honor for so many years, and actually trap him. He just told us right in that interview, Congressman, what he wanted to do. Just tell him that we want to come by. Don't have a lawyer there.
Jim Comey is what is wrong with this whole thing. Jim Comey, who wants to make it like he's Superman in that interview just now, his arrogance and hubris are just appalling. Look, the S on his chest is for shame. That is exactly what Jim Comey said, and that interview just proved it all. Again, he showed also in that interview that it was political. He was talking about former presidents, and he didn't like this president, didn't even call him by name. I think this is just the arrogance that we see. But also remember, there was also a memo written by Peter Strzok to Andrew McCabe about what he would say to General Flynn on the day of the interview. And also I want to remind viewers, Maria, that McCabe lied to his own colleagues and was fired, but was never charged for it. So they charged General Flynn in a setup interview with lying to the FBI, but yet McCabe, who lied to his own colleagues, was never charged. There's a problem here. I want Mr. Durham to continue to see this. It's just a real problem.
So, Congressman, when is enough? We know for a fact now, it's been confirmed by the DOJ, at least 2 of the 4 wiretaps on Carter Page were illegal. Now we know that General Flynn was set up. Illegal. We know that there were informants that were running at campaign people in the Trump administration before the official, they say it began in July of 16, the investigation. Informants all over the place, beginning as soon as the inauguration happened. When is enough? When is anybody going to see the inside of a jail cell here? Because this is a massive abuse of power, and now most people in America understand that.
Yes, today is enough. Today is enough. I mean, we've seen it this week. Today is enough. U.S. Attorney Jensen, who is looking into the Flynn issue under direction of Attorney General Barr, who had appointed Durham, it's time for this to end. It's time for the circus that was Flynn, that went after Flynn, of Comey, McCabe, Strzok, Page. I'm so tired of them folks thinking that they were these warriors for what they thought was a political agenda, when actually what happens, Maria, and your listeners, it needs to stop now.
You know, on Sunday, I tweeted out, this is the week that General Flynn will be completely exonerated. Do you believe what we have here exonerates General Flynn?
I think you're getting close to the truth. I think it shows that it was a setup from day one.
All right, we will leave it there. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks, sir.
Good to see you too, Maria. Take care.
Fired up, 6 a.m. in the morning. More Mornings with Maria when we come back.